Okay, let's begin. Just take a moment to get into your body. Feel your feet on the earth. Let your breath begin to move slower and deeper into the belly. And even if it's not there yet, even if you don't feel that deeper connection of your breath into your body, just little by little, breath by breath, choice by choice, allowing ourselves to yield and to soften into this body, into this moment. And as we get more quiet and soft on the inside, we're able to tune in, to listen to the voice that's ever present and guiding us into our highest and best possibility. I find myself here. I am here. I am here and they are here with me. I am here in this place. I am here in this body, in this heart, with this mind, in this awareness. I am here in this moment as I am. It couldn't be any other way. It is a trick of the mind. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And from here, I can move towards my highest and best potential and possibility. I am here with this clear intention, purity of heart. Adjusting breath, exhale, squeeze it out. Breathe from the belly up to the chest, let the belly expand. Belly expands and the chest expands. Squeeze it out from the chest down to the belly. The chest squeezes. The belly squeezes. Pumping the breath. And pumping the body. Getting the blood, the breath, the energy to flow. Becoming unified. Activating the hands. Yep. And focus on your breathing, breath in your belly. And you could be really slow and light and easy and deliberate, or you could be vigorous. It's up to you. It's up to your body. What's best for you? You might even just hold your hands together and slow it down and gently separate the hands like you're stretching a soap bubble. It's delicate, letting it stay in form, but it's also strong enough to expand into your palms and fingers. Breathe into the face. And then just let that wash all the way down. Activating the feet. There's all kinds of ways to go about this kind of stuff. So we're just going to start in one leg, and it might be really light and minimal. You might barely pick the foot off the ground, or just shift your body weight around on the foot and feeling the ankle, the toes, the ball, the heel. Feel the connection through your lower leg and calf and shin to your knee, to your thigh, to your hip, pelvis. Just feeling around there for a moment. How far can I go? What feels right? Do I need to be nurturing and easy and gentle? If I had a busy week, weeks, year, years, and maybe it's time to soften and settle and let things just kind of gently move into their place so they can flow. When you're ready to, lift one heel at a time, moving side to side, dream walking. And maybe that's super light and easy, and maybe you just barely shift your weight from one foot to the other and not even lifting the heel off the ground. But maybe you can get the legs moving, get the chi pumping, blood flowing, lubricating the joints. Breath in the belly, and maybe you're seated instead, and so you're just shifting your weight, pressing one foot and then the other, letting your body shift in your seat. Just doing what you can. Always only what we can, and that's good enough. Breath in the belly. Slow it down, relax the arms. Shaking the branches of the tree, again, it might be very slow, light and easy and deliberate as you wiggle your fingers around. Might be vigorous with it. It's up to you. You might decide to gently twist or sway side to side, rock back and forth. Free it up a little bit. Breath in the belly. Always returning my awareness to the breath, and then after a while it becomes first nature. You return to your original natural breath, slow, deep into the belly. The belly expands on the inhale, contracts on the exhale, a gentle squeeze, and a gentle open. And let that settle to the middle. Hands on the hips, or you can put your hands on your belly, riding the body side to side. Breath in the belly, connecting into your feet. I feel my weight go to one leg, and then I push off that and let it myself land and settle onto the other, shifting the body weight side to side. Breath in the belly, reminding my body how to move from its lower core, from the lower center. This is where my body movement, my physical action originates from, like an epicenter, radiating down to the feet, to the earth, and up into the head and out to the arms. Breath in the belly, pushing from one side to the other, and then landing to one side. I can slide the toes, step it in, or balance my way in. Maybe you can't come all the way closed, whatever you can do. Find the center, rise up, sink back down, shift my weight onto one leg. I feel myself balance. Maybe I need to put my arms out, slide, balance, or step my way out, and find the center, as if the pelvic bone and tailbone and the crease of the inner thigh are creating an arrow pointing right down to the center of the earth. Just as gravity roots the body to the earth. I let that move all the way down through my legs. Shift to the other side, and now just let that move over to more of one side of my body, and I bring myself in. Maybe I have to stay open a little bit, bring it to the center, rise up, just reminding my body how to move, connecting with my center of gravity, my lower core, opening back up to the natural stance, somewhere between hip and shoulder width apart, kind of if you were walking and then just suddenly stopped. That's your natural width as you walk, unless you're on a balance beam, right? That's different. But we want to find that middle point and drop that root, third leg, if you will, right between the feet. And then shift and begin to move with me. Listen for the breath, breath in the belly. It can be as loud and big as you like, or as gentle and soft as you like. It's up to you. Making my breath loud so you can hear it. Let the belly expand. Squeeze the belly and sink to the earth. Inhale. Open up and center. Let it all soften and relax. Finding a comfortable standing position. Avoid locking the knee joints back. I want at least a little gentle bend in the knees as I begin to twist side to side, pushing from one foot to the other. It can be very light and easy, just barely pushing and twisting. If that's feeling good to my spine and my body, maybe even if I stay slow, I can just gently lift my hands and lightly touch my shoulder and my lower back. Just making this figure eight connection in the body here, and the spiral and the twist of the spine, and breath in the belly, twisting side to side. I have an odd angle in my microphone. Breath in the belly, trunk twisting, moving side to side. And then slow it down and just gently relax into your feet. Just let everything soften up for a moment. Breath in the belly, awareness of the breath in the belly, awareness of the hands and the feet, the legs and the arms, the trunk, the head. Maybe feeling like you want to gently twist and sway and move. Just whatever feels right to you. A soft bend in the knees, a soft bend in the elbows, opening up the gates so that blood, fluids, energy can flow. Just feeling myself, my breath in my belly, my awareness on my breath, and then my mind may attempt to take me elsewhere 1,000 times, 1,000 times. I call my mind, my awareness, to my breath in my belly, to my feet, to my hands. Hands on the hips, riding the body side to side. Breath in the belly. So now we're going to begin to move laterally. Shift your weight to one side, bring the feet together as close to as you can. Keep the knees bent, bring it center, shift the weight and open up to the other side. Bring the weight middle, right between the feet. Shift the weight across, feet together, center and rise. Sink back down, shift and open. Find the center, ride through the center, feet together, knees still bent. Find the center, shift through, open, and step. Carry it through, feet together, center, shift and open, moving side to side. Bring the feet together, and then rise up. Moving side to side, breath in the belly. Just do the best you can. And rise up. Inhale, sink down. Open up, exhale, center. Feet together, inhale. Open up, exhale. Feet together, inhale. Open up to the side, exhale. Your breath doesn't have to be loud, it could be gentle. Inhale to the side. Exhale up. Inhale, sink. Open up, exhale. Inhale, feet together. Shift and open to the side, exhale. Shift, feet together. Open up to the side, exhale. Inhale, feet together. Exhale up. Moving back to the center. And just relax, shake it out a little bit. Twist and move, roll around, whatever feels good. Just feel into that body. Feeling for, tight spots, maybe painful spots. Just areas that want to soften up. Areas that have been bracing and holding tight. And that we're in a safe space and we can begin to soften up and let those areas open up. We yield, we surrender, and we trust. And holding the arms out, or you can hold them down instead. Silk weaving, weaving the soft connective tissues in the body, weaving the nervous system, circulatory system, breath in the belly. Just weaving all the aspects of our physical body, our breath, our spirit, our energy. Just weaving that all together, opening up. Nice and big, and maybe you hold the hands down instead of holding the arms out. You might be in a chair. You might move slower or faster than I do. Breath in the belly, like kneading dough in the air. Wrapping around, gently rolling into a fist, and opening back up. Breath in the belly. Let the body move and get involved. Maybe that means moving the pelvis forward and back, or arcing the chest and the back and the shoulders. Breath in the belly. It's free to move about, and maybe you stop trying to find this particular movement, and some other movement has come into an awareness. You could begin to pull the hands into the belly and open up. Just do the best you can. It's good enough. Just opening up, maybe rolling in and rolling out. Breath in the belly. Stay up here, inhale. Exhale, dive in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, dive in. One more time. And just let it all soften. Relax into the body. Hands on the hips. And this time, rocking the hips side to side. Just letting the hip move to the side. I'm keeping my head centered between my feet and my tailbone. And that might be very light and minimal. If I feel tight or pain, it's just my body asking me to soften up a little bit and maybe slow down and take time, little by little, becoming more flexible and open, just in the way and the rate that's right for me. And when I'm ready to begin to make a circle in the air with the hips, pelvis forward, to the side and back, I can draw a pretty big circle with my hips, and maybe yours is very light and minimal. Breath in the belly. Reverse the circle. Your breath might be quiet, faster or slower. Just find the right for you. What's right for you? In this body, in this moment. Am I tip top and going all out? Or I need to be gentle and soft and quiet and yielding. Bring it to the middle. And begin to move the hips side to side. Maybe a little side view. Let the knees gently move forward and back, pointing the knee towards the toe. letting the hips, and again, that might be real minimal and light, might be really easy. Just imagine that your tailbone and your head are at the top and the bottom of a big beach ball that encompasses and circulates and holds your body from tailbone. Go ahead and put your hands on your belly. Just imagine that that beach ball is sitting in the water, and all you need to do is just gently twist your fingers side to side on the top of the beach ball, and it just gently glides in the water. And maybe it's just barely twisting, just easily gliding side to side. Maybe your hips are open and you feel connected to the movement. And just letting that beach ball, one of many of the beach balls or suns or spheres, however you want to look at it, that we're in the center of. This sphere that's all around us is another one from the head to the feet, and another one above the head and beneath the feet. And there's other ones at different points and places in the body. Right now we're just focusing between the tailbone and the head, and just letting that glide side to side, just letting the hip move forward and back. And one hip goes forward, the other hip goes back. And then bring the hands on the hips and let it glide easily into the center. Shift your weight to one side and turn the hips like the handle and pick up the toe. I'm exaggerating not to pick it up that far, but just enough weight off the toe. As I turn my hips, my heel turns my toe out to a diagonal position, just to the corner. And then I ride the body forward, ride the body back. And if I can't keep my heel on the ground, I could balance for a moment, turn my hips, and pull my foot in. Shifting to the other side, supporting my body weight, turning the hips like a handle, and just teaching and reminding my body how to move. I want my toe to point in the direction of where I'm going. And right now I'm facing straight ahead, so both toes point straight ahead or as close to what your body is able to do. I ride to the other side, turn the hips like a handle. My toe turns to a diagonal and only turns to the side if I decide to go directly to the side, but instead I'm going to keep my motion easy, like I'm moving off to the corner of the room. I ride forward, I ride back, I turn in, center, breath in the belly. Your breath can be gentle and quiet and light, or big and loud. It's up to you. Moving with me. Bring it to the center and relax. Now it's going to be a 1-2. Shift the weight. Turn the hips like a handle, toe turns out. And as I push off my back foot, I let my left toe, or my back toe, which is probably your right now, your back toe turn in. So as I complete the turn of my hips on a diagonal, my hips are pointing on the diagonal, my shoulders, my toes are pointing on this diagonal, perpendicular. Don't let that be confusing. Breath in the belly. I just want my toes pointing in the general direction of my motion. Whether I'm moving forward or back, that's the line of my motion right now. Sit back, toe turns in, and toe turns back out. Find myself in the middle. Shift the weight. Take the weight off the side foot so I can turn the toe, or I can pick up the foot and turn it. Ride my body forward, and I can pick up the foot and let my other toe follow, or I could turn the toe in. Breath in the belly, spine nice and upright, riding my body. And then before, I could either turn the toes in different ways, but before I put my weight back, I'm going to let my toe turn back out, and then I move my weight and let my toe turn back in. A 1-2. Shift, open up to the side, shift, back toe turns in, breath in the belly. Before I sit back, I'm going to let my hip begin to turn and my toe turn out, shift the weight, and complete the turn of my hips, breath and belly. Moving with me. 1, 2. 1, shift, 2. Toe turns out, 1, toe turns in, 2. Shift, toe turns out, 1, shift forward, toe turns in, 2. Breath in the belly. Toe turns out, 1, toe turns in, 2. Breath in the belly. Moving side to side. Breath in the belly. Let it flow. That way, as I'm moving, my toes are always pointing where my chest, belly, and head are pointing. I'm moving from my core. Breath in the belly. Reminding my nervous system, my body, how to move. Recalibrating. And as rudimentary and simple as all this is, you might have developed bad habits, right? Or unhelpful habits is a better way to look at it. And so I'm just reteaching my body that if I want to go over here, my toes and my head have to point there. And if I want to come back to the center, then my eyes and my head and my belly point there. Yeah. Shifting. Now, let your weight come forward and your heel come off the ground. I'm being, pretty exaggerated, but yours might just be a little bit off the ground. A little bit extra forward, breath in the belly. And then I'm going to rock back and sit onto the back leg and lift my heel off the ground. It might just be barely off the ground. You might be a little bit more in the middle of your body rather than seated all the way back. Letting the back hip move forward, pushes my knee forward, lifts my heel off the ground, and then that hip pulls back, seats me onto the back leg, and pushes my other hip forward and brings me onto that balancing leg on the toe. Turn the hip, pressing forward, turn the hip, seated back. Just like when you're walking, you don't really think about how your legs are swinging and how your hips are moving. And as your hips swing, it moves your spine and your shoulders move with it and your arms begin to swing. We've done that so many times. Unless we're challenged in the area of walking or mobility, we don't really think about it anymore. It just happens. And we don't really remember the process of learning how to walk. And all the times that we stood up and fell, stumbled, but eventually we got it. Or whatever it is and how we get around the world. Breath in the belly, rocking back and forth, letting the hips move my legs as if I was getting ready to take a step. Seated back as if I had already taken a step and I'm ready to plant my foot, swinging it forward. And shift, toes turn, adjusting breath. Breathe from the belly up to the chest. Empty from the chest down into the belly. Breathe from the tailbone up to the head. From the head down to the tailbone and down to the feet. Let your breath and body sink all the way to the feet. Breathe from the feet up to the head. And then let it settle. Relax the breath. Hands resting on the thighs. Riding the wave. Arms floating up like water. My legs lengthen without locking. And then I bend the knees gently and let the arms float back down. If I want to go up, I need to push down. I push down against my feet, against the earth. The earth pushes back. And I let that travel up my body. And as I root back down, I let myself melt into this body. I rise back up as I pump breath in the belly. Just reminding the body how to move as one piece. Even though I have all these parts, there's nothing that is left out. It's all one breath, one body, one motion, rising and falling, sinking back onto the heels. And to rise up, I push down. And as I sink down, I rise up. Just like a pump, just like a plunger. A plunger works on a drain, creating vacuum and pressure. Just breathe into the belly. You could breathe gentle, slow, and soft, or loud and big and cleansing. It's up to you. Breathe with me or breathe at your own pace. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. Push down to rise up. And as I rest and root back down, the pressure moving down helps my spine to rise up. Breathe and release. And find the middle, being gentle and relaxed. And shift the weight. Turn the toe like a handle. Turn the hip like a handle, turning the toe. I'm in some pretty groovy space right now. See if I can continue to communicate. Toe turns in. So both of my toes are in a natural stance width, pointed at the side. And then pressing forward, seated back. Letting the hips turn, pressing my foot into the front, lifting my heel off the ground as if I was getting ready to take a step or getting ready to run or lunge. And then I let this hip pull back, the other hip moves forward, and that lifts my heel off the ground. I'm exaggerating, it doesn't have to be quite so far, but it can. It's a good stretch. And letting the hips turn. If you imagine you were walking, your arms would begin to swing in motion with the movement in your legs. And all that would hinge in what we think of as the main core, the lower core. There are three of them, but the body core, the physical core, right in here. Breath in the belly, right around the legs and butt and hips, thighs, belly, breath in the belly. You might be moving slower or faster. It's all up to you. And just feeling the body move forward and back. Just as if we had come from a step and we were getting ready to either plant the ball or the heel, depending on how long our stride was. Right? And then rotating in, letting my hips, my shoulders, and my elbows turn, letting my knees gently move forward and back comfortably. Breath in the belly. And come back. Adjusting breath. Gather. And release. Filling from the bottom to the top. Empty from the top to the bottom. As I lift up, I actually draw myself down from the sky into my body, into the earth through gravity. As I press and root myself down, pushing down helps me to rise back up. Just take a moment to soften, breathe, and relax. Maybe gently twisting and swaying. Maybe there's a spot on our body that is a little bit tight, and maybe just massage a little bit, feel around. Maybe there's a part of us that's calling our attention to it. It's gotten tight, it's gotten stiff and stuck. And just gently move the body, and over time, gently begin to open those areas, and through the breath and through circulation, begins to open back up and repairs where things got disconnected or blocked, begins to release and make connections where things were yet undeveloped or had been severed somehow. As we continue to move and breathe and call and return the fullness of who we are into this body, equipped with this mind and this open, loving heart, this golden body temple, seated in a golden heart throne, wearing a golden halo crown, supporting a beacon of light hovering above the head. And let's go ahead and connect with that. Circulating from the outside in, I gather, imagine scooping the earth up, not just where my arms are, but in front and behind. If I can reach that over my head, I gather that above my head, but if I can't reach up, I reach out. Or even if I need to keep all my stuff right here and low, it's all the same. Just gather from the outside. Imagine all that pouring in as the heavens, as the cosmos pours down. And I take this radiant beacon of light, this violet, golden, white light, this sphere pouring down through the center of my body into the earth as I circulate from the outside in. Gather myself, collect myself above the head or out in front of the face, wherever that is. Doesn't matter if it's physically there by your positioning, just breathe. And as that sphere enters the earth below your feet, it rises back up as a giant sphere all around your body as we brush and align and refine the energy that's flowing up from the earth around us, adding to the heavenly chi pouring down through a golden funnel above the head. And just let that float back down. And if these ideas don't work for you, just focus on your breath in your belly and just focus your attention on where the arms are moving. I'm pressing down gently and I'm pushing up, gathering myself in fullness. And I receive myself in fullness, right through the core of my being, all the way back down into the earth. And now circulating from the inside out, imagine that coming up between my feet, sphere, this radiant energy, earth energy, nurturing energy, rising up like a fountain, like a spout that reaches the sky and then pours down in all directions, circulating from the inside out. It doesn't matter if my mind is aware of what's happening, if I feel anything or not. Just by virtue of breathing, moving, and bringing my awareness, returning my awareness to my breath, returning the awareness of my mind onto the sensations of my feet and my legs as I push myself up into my hands. And if I can't reach up, I reach out like I'm swimming. Doesn't matter how high your arms rise. We're just inviting this fountain to rise back up from the earth, this golden well rises through the golden funnel above the head as a fountain, as a spout, as we add earth energy to the heavenly chi pouring down all around us, brushing out the tangles, repairing disconnections, making new connections. We don't need to know where and how and why this is happening. All I have to do, all I, my part is to breathe in the belly, to be aware of the movement in my body. Just let my mind soften into this awareness. Even if my mind tries to pull me out 1,000 times, 1,000 times I return my awareness to my breath, my belly, my body. As I circulate myself from the inside out, I lift chi up and pour chi down. I rise in fullness through my central core, rise to the heavens, and I express in fullness all that I am, all that I came to be here for. And shake it out. Breath in the belly. Hands on the hips. And just maybe even imagine just kind of holding a ball. And we're holding the bottom of this big beach ball, this big sun. We're at the center of its bottom is at our tailbone, the top is at our crown. And I'm just going to glide easily, just minimal. Just going to let my hips rotate side to side. I have quite a bit of range of movement, so I could really pretty go for it. But let's just keep it easy and light, and just gently gliding, just as if we're holding the top of a beach ball. We're just lightly turning our fingers side to side, and it doesn't take much pressure or force for the beach ball to glide on the water. Breath in the belly. And you might instead decide to shift weight side to side. That might feel better to you right now. You might gently rock back and forth. You might twist and glide and do all of the above. It's up to you. Breath in the belly. And relax. Adjusting the breath, exhale. Breathe from the tailbone to the head. Top of the head to the tailbone. As if you could reach your feet with your hands. Breathe from your feet up to your head. And from the head down into the feet. As if you could reach the center of the earth and breathe from the center of the earth to the top of the sky. And let the sky pour down. Where the sky meets the body, the breath, where the sky meets the feet, the earth. And just take a moment to breathe and relax and soften. Taking a moment to nourish, to soak, to allow what was for you today to be for you. Whatever didn't stick to you and wasn't for you, just letting it go. Trusting that if it's something for me, it will return and I will acquire what I need. In the meantime, I have all that I need for this moment. Maybe twisting, swaying, and moving, breath in the belly. And just allow myself to yield, to soften. Even if my body, my mind rejects that idea, I know a deeper truth that if I soften up, that I can overcome the hardness of my life experience, the rigidness, that just like water resists nothing, nothing resists water. Over time, little by little by little, tap into that inner quality of fluid, of motion. So each water molecule is its own. It is also the ocean itself as a whole. Breathe into my belly. I let my mind soften into the awareness of my shoulders relaxing, my arms reaching and stretching towards the earth, free to twist, sway, and move or have a seat. And I let my arms lengthen, my fingers as if they could dip into the soil of the earth, as if I could reach all the way down to the ground from where I am now. Breath in the belly, feeling my feet on the earth, connecting through the toes, the ball, the edges, the heel. Free to twist, sway, and move as I continue to allow a yielding, a softening to occur. Even if my mind, some aspect of myself rejects that at first. I connect with a deeper inner truth as I tune inward, relax, and soften. Finally letting go the things that I held on to for too long, the things that I misunderstood or were hurtful to me. I just invite my body, my mind, my emotions to soften. With grace and ease, just let that melt through my body and into the earth. Breath in the belly. 1,000 times my mind tries to pull me somewhere else. 1,000 times I call my awareness to my breath in my belly, to the sensations in my body, to the softening in my tissues, the strength and resilience of my bones, strength of my muscles supporting me. Letting go of the bracing, letting go of the unnecessary tension, the tightening, the fear, releases and washes from me into the earth, breath in my belly. And final circulations. Up and down the spine. Just follow the hands, follow the breath, follow the movement. Just do what you can. Up and down the center of my body, my spine. Cleansing, gathering. Maybe it's a quiet, gentle breath. Maybe it's 5 breaths for every one that I take. It's all right. It's all good. Weaving the infinity, a figure 8 in my body, as if I could reach the inseam of my legs and toes, come up the inseam of the legs, weave through my belly to my lower back, as if I'm pulling something up over my back or a hoodie over my head, come up over my back to the upper jaw, and then coming down the front of the body from my lower jaw, weaving through the belly to my lower back, and now down the sides and backs of my legs. Whether you have it exactly as I do or not, it really doesn't matter. I'm coming up the front inseam of the legs into the belly, weaving through and around my waistline, coming up over my back, and whether my hands can move all the way there or not, doesn't matter. Breath in the belly. The top of the jaw, and from the lower jaw, down the throat and the chest, the heart, solar plexus, belly, weaving through the belly and down the legs. One more time with breath. Exhale. Inhale up the inseam like pulling on pants. Imagine pushing through, weaving through the center up over the head, over the top of the head. Inhale down the front, weaving through the belly and down the legs. Circulating from the outside in, gather and release. From the inside out, from the earth up to the center, and release. Shake a leg or step in place. Wiggle, wiggle. Maybe some light tapping and brushing. Maybe just gently placing your hands on parts of your body. Massaging the scalp and the back of the neck, back of the head, behind the shoulders if you can reach back there. Behind the shoulder blades. Shoulders gently in the armpit and sides. Gently down the arm, the elbow, the wrist, like you're washing your hands. Around the waist, lower back, around the floating ribs, gently the solar plexus and belly, heart, inseam, outseam, thighs and hips and pelvis. Maybe you can put your foot up somewhere, or you can balance, reach your leg. If not, let her on when you're seated. You can work the lower body, being gentle. Yeah. One more deep breath. And release. One more moment of stillness. Just letting everything flow with grace and ease, circulating, balancing, restoring the natural state, the healing state. I am here. Beautiful. Namaste. She.